Right now, at this very moment, one of the most dangerous winter storms in decades is exploding across America. In just 7 hours, this system will transform from nothing into a monster that could paralyze 40 states. What you do in the next 60 seconds could determine whether your family stays safe or gets trapped in conditions that meteorologists are calling potentially historic. Here is what is happening right this second. As you watch this, freezing rain has already started coating Interstate 20 between Big Spring and Dallas. Within the next 3 hours, that same highway will become what emergency crews are describing as an ice skating rink stretching for 200 miles. Traffic cameras are already showing the first vehicles losing control. But here is the reward I promised you in the first 30 seconds. If you live anywhere from Texas to Maine, I am going to give you the exact hour your weather turns dangerous, the precise snow totals for your city, and the one critical mistake that could leave you stranded. Drop a comment right now telling me where you are watching from, and I will personally reply with your customized forecast. Seriously, comment your city or state right now. The radar does not lie, and what it is showing is terrifying. At 2 p.m. today, light rain in Dallas. By 7 p.m. tonight, a catastrophic icing event covering 300 square miles. That is 5 hours for conditions to go from normal to deadly. 5 hours is all the warning you get. Think about this. In 7 hours, this storm intensifies from basically nothing into a system dropping ice at rates meteorologists have not seen in 20 years. We are talking about ice accumulation of 1/4 inch per hour in some locations. Your power lines cannot handle that. Your trees cannot handle that. Your roads definitely cannot handle that. Want to know something most weather reports will not tell you? This storm has a personality, and it is mean. It is not moving fast and getting out of the way. It is parking itself over the heartland and grinding away for 36 hours straight. That means compounding problems, where every hour makes the situation exponentially worse than the hour before. Let me paint you a picture of what 7 p.m. tonight looks like. Dallas, Fort Worth, you are getting hammered with freezing rain. Oklahoma City, you are right on that knife edge between all snow or a nasty mix of sleet. Wichita Falls, Childress, you have got sleet coming down hard enough to sound like hail on your roof. And up in Woodward, Kansas, you are already seeing moderate to heavy snow with visibility dropping to 0. Here is the plot twist that changes everything. Kansas City and Little Rock, you think you have time. Your radar is completely clear right now. You are looking outside at dry pavement and thinking this storm is overhyped. But watch what happens in just 6 hours. By 1 a.m. Saturday morning, both cities get slammed. Kansas City, you are waking up to snow already on the ground. Little Rock, you are getting those big, heavy, wet flakes that pile up fast. We are talking about snow falling at rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour in the middle of the night when you are sleeping, when the plows are not ready. But here is where it gets personal, and this is why I need you to comment your location. Every city, every town, every county is going to experience this storm differently. Some of you will get all snow. Some of you will get that treacherous mix of snow, sleet, and freezing rain. And some of you, particularly in Dallas, will get an ice event that could knock out power for days. 3 a.m. Saturday morning, and Little Rock makes the switch. You started with snow, nice fluffy accumulating snow, then it changes to sleet. That sleet is going to mix with the snow already on the ground and create a concrete hard layer that snowplows cannot break through. This is the stuff that shuts down entire cities. Now let me tell you about Tulsa, Fort Smith, Bentonville, and Joplin. You are in the sweet spot for all snow. No mixing, no changing over, just pure snow for 18 to 24 hours straight. Bentonville, mark my words, you are getting a foot, maybe more. This is the bullseye, the jackpot, whatever you want to call it. 12 to 14 inches of snow minimum. Oklahoma City, I am rooting for you because this is going to be close. The models keep flip-flopping on whether you stay all snow or get some sleet mixed in. My gut, my experience, my analysis of the temperature profiles tells me the models are running too warm. I think you beat the odds and stay all snow, but it is going to be a nail-biter, and you need to be prepared for either scenario. Dallas, we need to have a real conversation. You are not getting snow. I am sorry, but I would be lying to you if I said otherwise. This is a sleet and freezing rain event for you, and it is going to be significant. We are talking about ice accumulations that could reach 1/2 inch in some areas. That is catastrophic for power lines. That is tree branches coming down. That is transformers exploding. 7 a.m. Saturday morning and travel becomes a nightmare. If you absolutely have to drive from Brownwood to Waco to Dallas, understand that you are taking your life in your hands. Interstate 20 and Interstate 35 are going to be parking lots of wrecked vehicles. Emergency services are already pre-positioning equipment because they know what is coming. Tyler, Shreveport, you are not escaping this either. That freezing rain is spreading east, and by Saturday morning, you are dealing with the same icy conditions as Dallas. Power outages are almost guaranteed in these areas. When is the last time you checked your flashlight batteries? When is the last time you filled up your gas tank? These are the questions you should be answering right now, not tomorrow. Now let me take you up to Arkansas because the story gets even more intense. Heavy snow from Tulsa sweeping across to Little Rock. By 7 a.m. Saturday, we are talking about snow already measured in inches, and it is still falling. Then it slides into Memphis. Memphis, you are starting as snow. Legitimate snow. 2 to 4 inches of it. But here is the cruel twist. By 2 p.m. Saturday afternoon, you switch over to sleet and freezing rain. So you get enough snow to create traffic chaos, then you get ice on top of it to make sure nothing moves for days. Just north of Memphis, in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and over toward Nashville, you are getting that same opening act of thumping snow. Nashville, specifically, you are going to see 3 inches fall very quickly. People are going to look outside and think this is just a nice snow event. Then the sleet arrives. Then the freezing rain arrives. And then you realize you are in serious trouble. 3 p.m. Saturday afternoon, and this is when the storm really shows its power across the midsection of the country. We have got moderate to heavy snow from St. Louis through Indianapolis, down through Louisville, over to Cincinnati, Columbus, Ohio. You are in the thick of it. 7 to 10 inches of snow over a 24-hour period. Pittsburgh, here is your timeline. Snow starts Saturday afternoon, maybe 2 or 3 p.m., light at first, then picking up intensity through the evening. By midnight Saturday night, you are in the heavy stuff with snowfall rates of 1 inch per hour. Sunday morning, you wake up to 8 to 12 inches on the ground. Cleveland, you are getting the lake effect bonus on top of the storm snow. We are talking about potential for 15 inches in some areas. The snow does not stop Sunday. It keeps going into Monday morning. This is a multi-day event for the Great Lakes region. Now let me talk about my neighbors. Pikeville, Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky, Appalachia. We are in a complicated situation. Snow starts around 2 p.m. Saturday. Before that, you are going to see it on radar, but it is going to be evaporating before it hits the ground. We need to fully saturate the atmosphere first. By evening Saturday, we could have 6 inches of snow on the ground. Then the warm air tries to move in. We might get some of that snow washed away by rain, leaving us with 2 to 5 inches total. But we have also got to worry about up to 1/4 inch of ice. Power outages are a real concern in the hills and hollers. Lexington, Kentucky, this is a tough forecast. The model shows 11 inches, but I think that warm air sneaking around the northwest side of the Appalachian Mountains is going to cut into your totals. I am thinking more like 6 to 9 inches. Still significant, still enough to shut things down, but not quite the major event some forecasts are showing. Cincinnati, Indianapolis, you are both looking at 8 to 9 inches. The snow is not going to be particularly heavy at any one time, but it is going to be persistent. It just keeps coming hour after hour, and at the end you look outside and there is 8 or 9 inches that seem to appear out of nowhere. St. Louis, you are on the northwest edge of this system. That is usually the less exciting side of a winter storm, but not this time. You are going to get light to moderate snow starting Friday night and continuing all day Saturday. By Sunday morning, 7 to 8 inches. It is not flashy, it is not dramatic, but it is going to completely change your weekend plans. Chicago, here is your situation. You are far enough north that you are catching the northern fringe of this storm. 1 to 4 inches is possible, with the higher amounts south of the city. Not a huge event for Chicago standards, but coming on top of all the cold air and previous snow, it is enough to create problems. Fort Wayne, South Bend, you are in a similar boat. 2 to 5 inches possible. The further south you are, the more you get. But even the lighter amounts are going to make travel dicey when combined with the bitter cold temperatures. Detroit, you are mostly missing the big snow, but you are not escaping this storm. You are getting the brutal cold and the wind. Wind chills are going to drop to 10 to 20 below zero. That is dangerous cold, the kind that can cause frostbite in minutes. Now we need to talk about the East Coast because there is a scenario, a very real scenario, where this storm absolutely explodes as it moves offshore. The national blend of models is showing some eye-popping numbers. New York City, the conservative forecast is 6 to 10 inches. But if this coastal low bombs out like these storms sometimes do, if we get that phasing just right, if everything comes together, we could be talking about 13 to 18 inches. That is a major snowstorm for the city. Boston, you could see close to 2 feet, 24 inches of snow. That is not a typo. If this storm strengthens the way some models suggest, Boston gets absolutely buried. We are talking about snowfall rates of 2 to 3 inches per hour at the peak. Philadelphia, 8 to 14 inches depending on the track. The further east the storm tracks, the more snow you get. If it tracks further west, you get less snow but more mixing issues. Scranton, 15 inches. Binghamton, 14 inches. Syracuse, 18 inches. Rutland, Vermont, 15 inches. The interior Northeast could see some of the highest totals of this entire storm system. Baltimore and Washington, D.C., you are in that tricky zone where a 50-mile shift in the storm track means the difference between 6 inches and 14 inches. Right now, the best guess is 8 to 12 inches, but you need to watch the updates closely. Here is what I need you to understand about ice. We keep talking about snow totals, but for a huge swath of the South, ice is the real story. When we talk about 1/4 inch of ice, that does not sound like much. But let me tell you what 1/4 inch of ice actually does. 1/4 inch of ice on power lines increases the weight by 500%. Power lines are not designed to handle that. They snap, transformers fail. Entire neighborhoods go dark, and in 20-degree weather, that is life-threatening. 1/4 inch of ice on tree branches does the same thing. Trees that have stood for 50 years come crashing down, often taking power lines with them. Roads become completely impassable, not just slippery, but blocked by downed trees and power lines. Nashville, Memphis, Little Rock, Shreveport, Tyler, Dallas, this is your reality check. 2 to 4 inches of snow followed by significant icing. Power outages lasting days, not hours. Travel impossible for an extended period. This is not an inconvenience. This is a legitimate emergency. Northern Arkansas, you are looking at some of the highest snow totals in the state. Bentonville, 12 to 14 inches. Fayetteville, 10 to 13 inches. Fort Smith, 9 to 11 inches. These are crippling amounts for areas that do not have massive fleets of snow removal equipment. Southern Missouri, Springfield, you are looking at 8 to 10 inches. Joplin, 9 to 11 inches. Cape Girardeau, 6 to 8 inches. The snow starts Friday night and does not stop until Sunday morning. Moving into Iowa, Des Moines, you are getting clipped by the northern edge. 3 to 6 inches possible. Not a major event for Iowa, but enough to create travel issues combined with the extreme cold. Kansas, you are split by this storm. Wichita, you are looking at heavy snow, 8 to 12 inches. Dodge City, 6 to 9 inches. Hays, 10 to 13 inches. The snow in Kansas is going to be accompanied by strong winds, creating blowing and drifting issues. Nebraska, Omaha, you are on the northern fringe. 2 to 4 inches possible. Lincoln, similar amounts. The cold is your bigger concern, with wind chills expected to drop to 30 below zero by Sunday. South Dakota, you are mostly missing the snow, but that cold air is going to be brutal. Sioux Falls, wind chills of 40 below zero are possible. That is emergency level cold. North Dakota, Minnesota, you have got your own issues with lake effect snow and dangerous cold separate from this main storm system. Duluth, you could see an additional 6 to 10 inches from lake effect on top of what is already on the ground. Wisconsin, Milwaukee, you are looking at 2 to 5 inches from this system. Madison, 3 to 6 inches. Green Bay, similar amounts. Again, not huge for Wisconsin standards, but it is the cold that is going to be the bigger story. Michigan, apart from Detroit, which we covered, Grand Rapids is looking at 3 to 6 inches. Lansing, 2 to 5 inches. Marquette, you are getting hammered with lake effect, possibly another 12 to 18 inches on top of your already massive snowpack. Now, let me give you the 5-minute promise I made at the beginning. Here is exactly what you need to do in the next 24 hours to stay safe, state by state. Texas, if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, fill your bathtub with water right now. When the power goes out, water treatment plants fail. Have a week's worth of drinking water. Fill your gas tank today, not tomorrow. Charge every electronic device you own. Buy batteries if you can find them. Oklahoma. If you are in Oklahoma City or Tulsa, Understand that even if you get all snow, it is going to be measured in feet, not inches. 10 to 12 inches of snow means you are not driving anywhere for 2 days minimum. Stock up on groceries today. If you need prescriptions, get them filled now. Arkansas, especially if you are in Little Rock, Memphis, or areas south, you are getting the worst of both worlds. Snow followed by ice. That means extended power outages are almost certain. Do you have a way to heat your home without electricity? Do you have a generator? If not, do you know where you are going to go when the power fails? Missouri, St. Louis, Kansas City, Springfield, your snow totals are significant but manageable if you prepare. The problem is going to be the duration. This is not a quick-moving storm. You are going to be stuck inside for the entire weekend. Do you have enough food, enough entertainment for the kids, enough medication? Kansas, Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana, Ohio, you are all looking at similar situations. Heavy snow, extended duration, brutally cold temperatures behind the storm. Once this snow falls, it is not melting anytime soon. Some of these snowpacks could last for weeks given the cold air that is going to be locked in place. Illinois, Michigan, Wisconsin, you are getting less snow, but the same brutal cold. Wind chills of 20 to 40 below zero are coming. Check on your elderly neighbors. Make sure your furnace is working properly. Know the signs of carbon monoxide poisoning if you are using alternative heat sources. Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, you are all in the potential impact zone for this coastal storm. The uncertainty is higher for you because small changes in the storm track mean huge differences in snow amounts. But here is what you can count on. It is going to snow, it is going to be cold, and it is going to last multiple days. Maybe you get 6 inches, maybe you get 20 inches, but either way, you need to be prepared for a significant winter storm. Maryland, Delaware, Virginia, West Virginia, you are in that mixing zone where snow, sleet, freezing rain, and plain rain could all be in play depending on your exact location. This makes preparation harder because you do not know exactly what you are preparing for. Prepare for the worst-case scenario, which is ice, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Northern Florida. You are all going to see impacts from this storm. Maybe not snow, but definitely the cold air. Temperatures are going to plunge. If you have pipes that could freeze, protect them now. Bring your pets inside. Cover your plants if you care about them. Even Florida, yes, Florida, you are not escaping this. The 6 to 10 day outlook shows below normal temperatures even for you. We are talking about lows in the 30s for much of the state, teens and 20s in the panhandle. That is freeze warning territory. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, you are all in the path of this system. Some areas could see snow. Most will see rain changing to sleet and freezing rain, then ending as cold rain. But behind the storm, temperatures are going to crash. Hard freeze warnings will be in effect. Arizona, Nevada, California, you are mostly clear of this storm, but you are dealing with your own weather issues. Heavy snow in the mountains, cold air spilling into the valleys. If you are in the high country, you could see another 1 to 3 feet of snow from separate systems. Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, New Mexico. You have got active weather as well, but separate from this main storm system we are tracking, multiple smaller systems bringing snow to the mountains, cold air to the valleys. The Dakotas, we mentioned the cold. This is life-threatening cold. If you lose power in Bismarck or Fargo with wind chills of 40 below, you have about 2 hours before your house becomes uninhabitable. Do you have a backup plan? Do your neighbors have a backup plan? Now here's the part nobody wants to talk about, but we have to. This storm is not the end. After this monster clears out, the pattern does not break. That cold air is locked in place for at least another 10 days, maybe longer. We are already seeing signals for another significant southern and eastern winter storm coming right behind this one. Maybe Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. We are not going to dive into the details of that one yet because we need to get through this one first. But I am telling you now so you understand this is not just one event. Winter has arrived and it is here to stay for a while. This is not a quick shot of cold air that retreats in a few days. This is a pattern change. The 6 to 10 day temperature outlook shows below normal temperatures from Texas to Maine, from the Rockies to the Atlantic, the Tennessee Valley, the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic, the Appalachian Mountains. These areas are going to be an icebox, way below normal temperatures for an extended period. That means any snow that falls is going to stick around. It means ice is not going to melt. It means problems compound on top of problems. More storms are going to come and interact with that cold air. We could be looking at a pattern similar to January 2014 or February 2021. Those of you who lived through those events know exactly what I'm talking about. Rolling winter storms, extended cold, infrastructure failures. Comment below and tell me where you are watching from. I will reply personally with your specific forecast. Tell me what you are seeing outside your window right now. Tell me if you are prepared or if you are scrambling. This community is strong and we help each other through these events. The most important thing you can do right now is take this seriously, but not panic. There is a huge difference between being prepared and being scared. Prepared means you have food, water, medicine, batteries, flashlights, and a plan. Scared means you are running to the store fighting over the last loaf of bread. Here is my final timeline for you. Right now, 2 p.m. Friday, the storm is just beginning. By 7 p.m. tonight, it is a full-blown dangerous event. By 1 a.m. Saturday, it has spread to cover 8 states. By 7 a.m. Saturday, travel is impossible across a dozen states. By 7 p.m. Saturday, we are talking about 20 states with major impacts. By Sunday morning, the entire eastern half of the United States is dealing with this storm in some form. This is not hype. This is not clickbait. This is reality based on the data, the models, the radar, and 30 years of watching winter storms. This one has all the ingredients to be truly historic. Check on your neighbors, especially the elderly. Make sure they have heat, food, and medicine. Offer to pick up supplies for people who cannot get out. Charge your neighbors' phones if they lose power and you still have it. Share generators if you have extras. This is when community matters most. Stay off the roads unless absolutely necessary. I cannot stress this enough. Emergency crews cannot help you if they are stuck trying to rescue other people. Every person who stays home is one less person they have to worry about. Keep your phone charged. Keep your car gas tank full. Keep your family close. And keep watching for updates, because this storm is still evolving and things could change. The next update will have current conditions, live radar, and real-time adjustments to the forecast. We are going to track this storm minute by minute until it is over. Make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on. And here is your teaser for what is coming after this storm passes. Remember I mentioned another system early next week? That one could potentially bring snow to areas that miss out on this storm. Could even bring accumulating snow to parts of the Deep South that rarely see it. But we will save that discussion for after we get through this monster. One more time, drop a comment with your location. I want to know where everyone is watching from. I want to know if you are ready. I want to know what questions you have. This community is incredible, and we are going to get through this together. Stay safe, stay warm, and stay informed. The worst is still ahead of us, but if we prepare properly,